Hey everybody, it's Terry with Early Girls Yarn. Well, today is New Year's Eve. That's when I'm recording it. This actually won't go live until probably end of the week, but Happy New Year's Eve and Happy New Year to you. I am doing kind of a recap of what I just got finished up this last week, Christmas gifts that I got, and a little bit of 2025 planning. I love to plan. I don't always get everything accomplished that I love to plan, but I just love dreaming and planning and thinking about how I would structure things different. So we're going to do some of that together today. First of all, one of the things that you're going to notice is I'm not going to be sharing a ton of acquisitions unless I have cast them on. This is going to be a little bit different only because they were Christmas presents, so I want to share those. But in the future for this year, for 2025, I am going to be doing a State of the Stash video, which I started counting everything December 1st. So I will have a State of the Stash video here in the beginning of January. And let me tell you, it is a doozy. It is a doozy. I am never going to stop buying yarn. I love buying yarn. I love squishing yarn. I love everything about it. My goal is to just really be more thoughtful about purchases, about what I do use and cast on right away, and about the goal is I would love to knit more, so have more grams out than I purchase. Now, December was an epic fail. We will see if I can catch up throughout the year. And if not, that's okay too. So let's get started. So I did not introduce myself. I am Terry with Earleygirlsyarn. I'm so glad you're here. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Earleygirlsyarn, which is E-A-R-L-E-Y, Earleygirlsyarn. And everything will be down in the description box below. I also got a microphone, so I'm hoping sound quality is a little bit better than it has been. So without further ado, let's dive in. Let's start with finished objects. So I cannot remember if I had other finished objects. This is kind of my last podcast of willy-nilly, if that makes sense. I've got a plan, I've got things lined up, but I'll share with you one of the gifts I got. I will be more intentional and precise with things in the 2025 in the near future. But let's talk about socks that got complete in this last week. So this is Izzy's Scrumptious Pearl Socks. I believe the colorway is Cake Before Breakfast. And I've shared before, but she is my college student. Well, not yet. She's a senior. She's going to college. She's going to be going to Drake University, which is like an hour and a half away. No, 8.5 hours away. And she wants care packages with hand knit socks. So this will be one that gets stowed away for later, which is super fun. Okay, the next sock I finished was this one. This was the Freckled Whimsies Advent socks, 2025 Advent socks. And I did cast those on in December, and I did finish them before Christmas and wore them for Christmas. They're even a little stretched out from my cute little round feet. So love them. I knit everything. All my socks are always knit on 9-inch circular needles, size 1. I do 64 stitches for all of them, even Izzy's. And I like the heel flap and gusset. That's my preferred one so far. That's what all of these are. And these are all vanilla socks by the Crazy Sock Lady is the pattern I use. And I believe that will be linked down below as well. So that was sock number 2 that was finished. Then I got done the Desert Vista Dyeworks. This was the scrappy socks. So I completed knitting 1 sock a month from Desert Vista Dyeworks yarn last year. I just learned to knit socks December 2024. So this was a big deal. Like that was one of my big 2024 goals, was to knit a pair of Desert Vista Dyeworks socks and, upload them and enter them into the challenge. And I did it. I'm so unbelievably proud of that accomplishment this year. So these are scrappy socks. Shauna Stitches is the one that I got this idea from. So I used 1 skein for the cuffs and the heels. And then I split my yarns into like lights and brights and darks and moodies. And then I knit 2 rows alternating between like a dark and a bright. And I just kept going. And then once a full color repeat was done in one of the lighter dark, then I would switch out that one for another one. And then, yeah, the toes were a different skein that I had. That was the one I knit in November. I think that was Christmas Around the World. So I'm in love with these socks. I'm going to be knitting more scrappy socks, but more to talk about that and then hear a little bit later about future plans with socks. So loved these. That was pair number 3. That was finished like the week, kind of like the week before Christmas until now. And this was pair number 4. This was my Kirby Werby Yarn 2023 Advent, sock Advent, and that was a Friends Advent from the sitcom Friends. So I loved it. I loved all the colors. I just love her yarn. So those are the 4 finished objects, which is crazy. Like that's a lot of finished objects for sure. So let's talk about things on the needles. So there is, actually it's not all my finished objects. I'm gonna do things a little bit out of order because it's the last kind of free episode or jump around episode, whatever you want to call it. I am going to pop a picture here of the yarn that I received from Randy and the girls for Christmas. You'll notice what I had asked for, because of course I always want to know what do you want. And I'm like, you know what? I have tons of yarn. I have no plump yarn from Spincycle Yarns. And right now, Spincycle is doing a challenge, a plump along, and it's to knit any project using their plump yarn, and it needs to be at least 50% plump yarn. So you can have 50% other bulky, 50% Spincycle to enter. So I'm like, I have none of that yarn. I would love to use it. I've never even used it before. I think it would be amazing. So as you can see, the girls, Cece actually went and she got 2 skeins, and I'm going to hold up skeins that are caked, but she got 2 skeins of a darker color and 2 skeins of a lighter color. And the idea was I would make a cowl out of this. But when I got it, and she told me she wasn't sure about the color. She's like, there might not be enough contrast. The original colors that she got were 2 of Afternoon Delight, which is this just beautiful dark green. Loved this. I kept this for my cowl. And then there were 2 skeins of this one, which was Under the Wave, which I'd never seen Under the Wave in any form of Spincycle yarn. So I was super intrigued. So of course I opened everything Christmas morning and I wanted to cast on. I'm like, what am I going to do? I love Under the Wave. I don't know that I love it with, I don't know, there's enough contrast with Afternoon Delight. Again, I just wasn't sure that there was quite enough contrast for the cowl I was envisioning. But my husband got me 2 skeins of Malabrigo, and I don't remember the name of this. I'll have to pull it up. So what I did was I kept 1 skein of Malabrigo and 1 skein of Under the Sea, or Under the Wave. I held the Malabrigo, it was like a DK Sport weight, held it double, and knit up this hat. So this is the, I want to make sure, Plumped Up Harlow, it's called. So it's her Harlow hat that she had done, I think, in Spincycle before, but with plump. And I love it. I'm going to put a palm. I've got one picked out. I just haven't done it yet. It's like a light white, but it's got multicolored. It's going to be beautiful. So this is my Plumped Up Harlow. I've already entered it in the Spincycle competition, which is awesome. And I cast it on, we went to my parents' house. So I cast it on Sunday. I don't remember what date in the calendar that was. Maybe the 29th? I think it was the 29th, but whatever day this last Sunday was, I cast it on, I finished it in 1 day. I was so proud of myself. It was such an easy pattern. I hadn't done brioche in a long time, but Andrea's instructions, as always, and videos accompanying are perfect. So Monday, I'm like, as a reward, I am going to go back to Spun and return the other 2 skeins I had of these and pick out 2 different plump yarns to go with my Afternoon Delight to exchange. And here's what I ended up with. Bam! Bad egg. Is that not fabulous? Because neon is a neutral, of course, in my world. Neon yellow is anyway. And I've already started my second project. This is the Plumped Up Cowl. How fun is that? Super fun. Look how Bad Egg is knitting up. I'm in love. I'm obsessed. Here's the back. Afternoon Delight is just as lovely. So I'm only through section 1. I cast this on yesterday. So it's not like I got home from Spun. I don't even think I cast it on. Actually, this is the third time I cast on because I just didn't believe the instructions like a silly goose. Even though I should have, I didn't. And I thought I knew better. So I switched my main color and my coordinating color and then went back to the original. So this Bad Egg, the neon, tan and neon is my main color. And Afternoon Delight is my contrast color. There's a fuzzy on there. Let's do that again. Afternoon Delight is my contrast color. So I am obsessed and in love with this project. I would probably be working on this nonstop until it was done, which would probably be all the way done today if I didn't have one lingering sock whip that I just feel needs to be done first. But it might get the better of me. I might just continue working on this at some point. We'll see. I'm obsessed. As long as it's done by January 11th, which is when the competition or whatever, not competition, the knit along ends, it'll be great. Ideally, I want it done before, which I think it will be. I think it'll be done by this weekend because I think per pattern, I'm going to have extra. So then what my thought is I will take my yarns, all of my leftovers, and make another hat with this as the other colorway, but have it like a leftover hat, which I think could be so fun. If I have enough of just these two, I'll do these two. But I mean, I'll stripe in my neon. I love it. So then I would have 3 entries into the Spincycle Pal Along, and I think that's amazing. So here is my other finished project. Boom! So happy with it. Okay, and since we're already talking about Christmas gifts, now normally I wouldn't necessarily return a Christmas gift, but like Cece was like, Mom, it's totally fine. She already wasn't sure about the one color, and I felt really good about using all the colorways and still getting yarn that really is a nice contrast for the cowl. And because the store Spun in Ann Arbor, they give you like a percentage back of your purchase. And I had saved up enough that I had a $10 credit. So by the time I traded in these 2 skeins and my $10 credit for these 2 skeins, it only cost me like an additional $3.57 or something like that. I mean, that's a total win. So I'm going to get 1 hat, 1 cowl, and maybe 2 hats out of that Christmas present. Like, such a good day. I'm so excited. So excited about all of these projects. So that was one of my Christmas gifts. So here are some other fun things I got from Santa and my family. So Santa really came through this year, like he always does, right? So one of the things that I got was this really fun bag from the Prickly Owl. I love this shape of bags. For me, it's like the perfect bag for knitting socks. So I have a lot of spring. I just bought some Christmas, but I didn't have just winter. I have like one I would consider winter. So I was really excited to get this one. And now I think I'll be good for a while until Treasure comes out with like the next best, greatest pattern that I'll of course need. Let's see what socks are in here. Oh yeah. So this is another thing. This was, well, I'll talk about this in my whips section. I won't say that right now. But anyway, that is one of my bags I got. And then I also got, yes, I got this as well. So this is really fun, and this is part of my organization. So here, I'll hold this one up. I won this notebook. This is my Knitting Notes by LP. I don't know who LP is, but I won this, and I got this kind of mid-year last year. And I really did enjoy writing notes down, lots of lists. I really like that. I still have plenty more empty pages in here, but Santa got me my Year in Yarn 2025. And this, let's see, I'm trying to figure out who created this. I'm not seeing it. It's got to be here somewhere. By summerdaycrochet.com. Mackenzie Summerday Crochet. This is her bullet journal. So this also came with this awesome 60 count of gel pens, which I love getting different writing pens. I always have. But look at how cute this is. So this has a 2025 vision board, and then it's got like each month, if you can see that. It's got like bullet points, goals you want to accomplish that month, habit trackers. Then it has, that goes all the way through 2025. Then it has a year in the end review, triumphs in 2025, lists and inventories, works in progress, which this is not nearly enough for how much I get done. But I think I'm going to do just sweaters on this because there are 10. And once you get a project done, you like color in the little thing that goes with it, which is fun. Yarn stash inventory, which, I mean, I have a 17-foot wall of yarn stash, so I'm not sure that's what I'm going to use. Pattern database I like. But then it has completed project logs. So it's got a double page like here that I can write them all down in, and then individual pages that I can also write. Again, my vision is, I mean, there's plenty, there's a lot in here, but I think I might do like, I don't know, we'll see. So part of me is thinking I might do like socks of the month and write all my colorways down and what I get done, but bigger projects for sure will go in here. So how exciting is that? I need to count through and see how many project pages there are, because maybe they all can come in here, I'm not sure. But it's going to help me be more organized. I'm going to actually count how many socks I complete, how many, all of the projects I complete, because I really didn't do that for this year. I mean, I guess I could go through Instagram. I did this morning. I think I had 9 sweaters completed, but I did not for, I know I had 14 socks done just over the summer alone. So 3 of those were Desert Vista Dyeworks, and I had 11 non-Desert Vista Dyeworks monthly socks. And then I did all 12 of those. So right there is 23 socks. And I know there's more. So I'm thinking I at least got 30. I probably did more than that, but I'm going to count this year. I'm going to know. And that makes me so happy. So I'm going to use probably a combination of books for now, because I already started planning some things in December. And I think what I'm going to do is make this my log for podcasting, because there are project pages, but in between the project pages on this one, there are blank pages. So my plan is to move my big projects in here, have, I think I need to go through and count, but I think I'm going to have like a monthly log for socks. And then here in this one, I'm going to so I can put my put all my podcast notes, dates that I start, my log. This is my log for my State of the Stash for December. When I tell you it went crazy, it is 2 full pages full of purchases and finished projects. So lots. So I'm so excited about the organization. I'm so excited about this gift. I will try and find that information and tag it below. Okay. So the last thing that I got from Santa, this is all before I went to my mom and dad's and got other creative fun gifts there too. So my Santa gift, I got a Glowhair Forest shawl kit. This is Stephen West's shawl. That's his hybrid knitting shawl. I have done that quite a few years. I finished 2 years or 3 years. I did not order it last year, and I did not finish the year before. But here is the kit that I got. How beautiful is that? And then here are, it's like, so this is like blues and greens. And then here's the mohair that goes with it. Aquas and teals. Love it. Love, love, love it. So I'm so excited. This was going to be my New Year's Eve cast on, which it might be. I'm for sure going to wind up the yarn today. I'm not sure if I'll cast it on today. Tomorrow, Izzy and I are going to Chicago, but it will definitely be a cast on soon because I'm really excited to knit this and to work on this project. So, okay, that got me through our Christmas. Now let's jump into my mom. So my mom and dad, we had Christmas there. We did it after Christmas. And here is what I got, which I love both of the things. So here's the first thing she got. It's a luminous light, which my ladies talked about at knit group, and I just never got one. But it goes around your neck, and then this lights so you can like move them all around and light up your project while you're working in the car or in an area. Like my dad likes it darker in his living room, so I was knitting my socks while we were all hanging out together in the living room, and it was perfect. So this was just a fabulous gift from Mom and Dad. And then I opened up, my mom got me, you know I love Dawn McVey. She's an artist. I've never had her ornaments, but she hand paints these just beautiful ornaments. I've never had them. I think this is her third year. I've just never gotten them. They've been sold out, or I couldn't make a decision on colors I wanted. My mom got me two. How sweet is that? Look at these. So I am in love with them. I think they're lovely. I cannot wait to collect more. So yeah, it was just a lovely, lovely Christmas. So we came home, and let me share some work in progress. I'm just going to share a few sock work in progress, and then that'll be wrapped up. Actually, I do want to spend time after the work in progress and talk a little bit about some knit-alongs that I'm doing throughout the year because they're kind of fun. So I only have really two sock whips, three. I have three sock whips right now. That's it. And then I've got my plumpy. I've got other whips, but I'm not bringing those out. I have a whole bunch of other whips. I did a video last year, the beginning of last year, about my whips. I think I'm going to recreate it, but it's a lot of the same. I did not work a ton on whips last year, which is crazy. So let's talk about the sock whips that I have, and we will go from there. So this is the only one which I'm trying to get done. This is New Year's Eve. I'm trying to get it done today. This was a whip from summer sock camp. And then because it was so bright and I was into fall colors, I put it down. So I'm at the heel. The leg is done. I'm at the heel. I'm going to pick it up as soon as this video is done. So here is the leg. I'm going to pick up and work on the heel. I'm trying to get this done today, but I'm not going to stress if it doesn't because I think it's already 2-3 o'clock, so we will see. But if I get it done today, then it would be done in 2024, which is awesome. If not, that's okay. It will get done very, very soon. This is my first sock I want to get done. Okay, my Christmas Day cast on was this cute little sock set from Long Dog Yarn. It actually came with this bag, but I moved it over to my Santa bag because of this project. So this is the Peppermint Twist sock set by Long Dog Yarn. I have just cast on. I just have a little bit of the cuff done. I'm planning on doing a vanilla sock pattern, except I'm going to just do 1x1 rib for the cuff, and then the whole sock. I've got one other like it. I'm going to do a 3x1. 3 knit 1 purl through the whole sock, just because it gives it a little bit of something, but keeps it pretty easy still. So that's that sock. Now, there is a knit along. Let me get this out to make sure I'm reading it correctly. It is a sock knit along happening, and it's going through through January 31st. Yes. It is the Monster Sock Knit Along. It started on the 26th of December and it goes through January 31st. So let me share a couple things. It's using scraps, leftovers, minis, any of those things. So I have really been enjoying the different ideas I've seen with socks, like striping striping minis, like making your own pattern out of solids. Here's another, here I'll show you this pattern. I'll be doing this on one of them. Actually, this is going to be this one. This is the color palette socks. Isn't that pretty? So I found, and one of the ideas was like breaking down advents. So I had an advent that I had gotten off of a de-stash someone was doing, and it was interesting because so it had 5 sparkle skeins in it, and then the rest were regular skeins. So I ended up grouping it. You'll see, like I've got this group for this pair of socks, and I have 2 other groups for what will be other scrappy socks. But here's this one. I already wound it up, and I think it's going to make the most beautiful color palette sock. Look at those colors. Hang on, there's more. Let's see if I can get them all together. So here's the colors that I grouped for the color palette socks. They're solid. I'm going to pop them back in here. And then this is a leftover I had from my, it'll be heels, toes, and cuffs. This was from a sweater I did. What was it? My City Limits sweater from Treehouse Yarn. So it was like the very first, very light pale color. So that is going to be one of my January socks. And I'm going to enter it into this Monster Knit Along Challenge. I got in a D-stash 2 years ago, right when I was wanting to do the year-long Desert Vista Dyeworks challenge, and I never used it this year. So I am using this. This is Speckles at the Splash Pad, and all these minis came with it. And I'm going to use all of these to do just a funky sock that I saw Eunice do from Therapy by Craft. And I just liked it. It stuck with me for some time. So I'm jumping in and I'm doing that. So it'll be another of my socks that I'm going to be entering into the Monster, what was it called? The Monster Sock Knit Along. So I will put that tag. And then if you come to my Instagram, you will see I will be tagging that account. So you can obviously get that link from there as well, because I think everybody should be entering. So as far as year-long knit-alongs, there are two. One is with Desert Vista Dyeworks again, and that's where you knit one sock a month, or you can do like a muscle-burr hat or mittens or something. She's got all the rules. I don't have them all. She has them all. But I'm going to knit one sock a month of Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. You have to use all her yarn in the sock. So I'm doing that again for the yearly. This is my January. But then my friend Angela and I were talking, and I need to connect with her to see if she still wants to do it. But even if she doesn't, I am challenging myself. I rearranged on this side of my yarn, my wall, or my big room is my sock yarn. It used to be all over, but now it's all in one spot. I mean, I pulled everything from my closet upstairs, everything from the top of the shelves, everything is over here. And I grouped it by dyer, but I also realized I have quite a bit of sock yarn, self-striping yarn, all kinds of things from dyers that I've never used, but I keep buying the yarn. So I'm like, Terry, knock that off. So at least one sock a month is going to be self-striping or a yarn dyer I've not used. Like Shirley O'Brien, for example, I think I have like 8 sock sets of hers, but those are like a deconstructed fade. They're gorgeous. I've not even cast it on. I don't know why. So I've got that whole section there. I pulled those yarns. So that's my goal, is to use them, see what I think about them, and enjoy these yarns I have. So that is happening as well. So those are kind of my 2 sock challenges to myself for this year. Okay, well, that's a whole bunch. I've got other things happening this year, but you don't need to hear about it all at one time, right? So thank you so much for hanging on to my, what will be the first podcast of the new year. And I'm so excited to go on this journey with everybody and to see what we can create in 2025. All right, thanks so much for watching. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. I am very active on Instagram. I would say more active on Instagram than YouTube for sure. Feel free to find me over there as well. I love chatting and getting to know all of you. All right, everybody, it's been so much fun. Have a great night.